Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 18th, 2023. The fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here. For today, we have some wind across the north with some isolated mixed wet dry thunderstorms over the central Idaho mountains into southeast Idaho and western Wyoming. Some isolated mixed wet and dry thunderstorms along the Sierra Front as well. And then we have some deeper moisture moving into Utah today for scattered showers and thunderstorms in those areas. Tomorrow, the moisture moves around a little bit, and so does the wind. The wind moves into parts of northwest Nevada into southern Idaho. Showers and thunderstorms move into eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and these will be more of a wetter type storm here. And then we see some the storms move into southern and southeast Nevada as well, starting on Saturday and into portions of western Utah. We do see some strong drying across eastern Utah as we head into the weekend. And then on Sunday, we get this really strong push of deep tropical moisture into Nevada and up into central and western Idaho. Potential flash flooding with that storm we'll talk more about in a minute. And then some dry air mass with strong winds across mainly eastern Utah on Sunday. Okay, so yesterday we had a pretty active day, a lot of lightning across Utah, northern Nevada, and into southern and southeast Idaho. Some of these storms were accompanied with pretty heavy precipitation, over an inch over the southern Utah mountains and in southeast Idaho as well. So not a lot of dry storms out there, but quite a heavy volume of lightning. This did result in significant initial attack, 31 fires for 45 acres. Our large fire growth reported from the 209s was about 1,700 acres. Precipitation for the past 7 and 14 days is shown here. This doesn't include precip from yesterday, but we can see southern and southwest Utah have been faring pretty well over the past week with daily showers and thunderstorms down there. Also portions of central Nevada. Looking further back, we do still see lingering effects of some of the storms from last week in the north. Fire danger conditions are shown here with the ERC percentile. Here we can see fire danger is still somewhat low across Utah, southern Nevada, up into western Wyoming, but we do see higher values over the central Idaho mountains, Snake River Plain, and west Nevada because of the very hot and dry air mass that's been in place up there. A closer look at some of these areas, the Boise National Forest shown here has shown a rapid increase from the precip that moved through over a week ago, and those values are almost back up to near normal for the time of year. Further south and east in Canyon Country here, we can see the values are right at about average for the time of year, which is well below the peak, which occurs normally in June. This morning's satellite imagery is showing a high pressure to the south and east, low pressure off the southern California coast. And with that setup, we can see moisture starting to move back into the southern Great Basin. This is the trend we'll see over the next few days, with heavy precip moving into mainly the western half of the basin up into Idaho. We can see a deep pooling of moisture here over Mexico that will continue to move northward through the coming days and into the weekend. So for today, expecting to see those showers and thunderstorms in central and eastern Utah, and then some moisture up into Idaho as well. No high-risk triggers for today. A closer look here at the precip. Heavy precip possible over the Arizona Strip, far southern Nevada, scattered wet thunderstorms over central and eastern Utah, southeast Idaho, and even the central Idaho mountains should see some thunderstorm activity as well, with some on mixed wet and dry up there. If we look at the wind gusts here over central and eastern Idaho and western Wyoming, that's where we're expecting to see gusts up to 35-40 miles an hour in those areas. Relative humidities aren't super low here, but certainly something to be aware of in those areas. On Saturday, we'll continue to see moisture streaming northward across central and southern Nevada into portions of western Utah and even up into eastern Idaho. No high-risk triggers for Saturday. So a closer look at the precip, we're really starting to see heavier amounts move in, especially a little bit further to our south. But central Nevada, higher elevations of Utah, up into eastern Idaho and western Wyoming on Saturday. And then Sunday, more moisture continuing to stream through. A pretty significant day on Sunday with pretty high precip amounts. Fire danger really starting to decrease rapidly across the entire Great Basin. Precip amounts expected for Sunday are shown here on the left. Very high one-day totals. In purple here, we're seeing an inch and a half up to 2 inches possible across southern Nevada in one day. Deep greens here are at least up to half an inch, and then these blues in central Idaho are 3/4 of an inch to an inch. So a significant day for precipitation amounts on Sunday, especially central and western portions of the Great Basin. Eastern Utah is going to be in a pretty good dry slot on Sunday with some strong winds and low relative humidities. So it's something to be aware of. With the recent lightning in that area, there could be some more holdovers popping up. The 3-day precip totals are shown here, Friday through Sunday. Again, very heavy precipitation moving into Southern California and up into Southern Nevada, south and southwest Utah, and then that precip moving north into Idaho as well. On Monday, the moisture continues to stream northward for another active day of showers and thunderstorms across much of the western and central portions of the basin. Eastern Utah will still stay dry with quite breezy conditions. On Tuesday, we'll start to see the moisture moving a little bit further westward as it's pushed by a low, or eastward as it's pushed by a low moving into the Pacific Northwest. That will bring some moisture back into Utah. And then that moisture continues to move eastward on Wednesday, possibly bringing some showers back into central and eastern Utah. Drier air returns to Nevada and Idaho. And that pattern generally continues into Thursday with drier conditions across the north and west, and then moisture in place across Utah. 7-day precip totals are shown here. The bulk of the precip again is coming Sunday into Monday, and that's when we'll see these really heavy storms with flash flooding potential. The extended forecast for August 25th through the 31st is calling for even below normal temperatures over Nevada, near normal elsewhere, and above normal chances for precipitation across the north. Well, really everywhere across the Great Basin, but concentrated over Idaho. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.